Well, happy Sunday afternoon, YTPC. This is Dave coming to you from Southern Maryland, back out on the front porch. About 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Kind of a typical weather for November down here. It's probably about 40, 45 degrees and pretty dreary, drizzly, raining. It's going to do this all day. Can't complain. Again, we need the rain. It's been a pretty dry year. I wouldn't call it drought, but it's been dry. So it's nice to get some rain, and it's that nice gentle rain that doesn't gully wash, soaks in, takes care of everything that needs it. As always, typically, there's the meerschaum. As always, kind of the only one you'll probably see me smoking in Maryland. Had to start a new Bic lighter, but I got a couple things I wanted to show you today to prove to you I'm not a complete Cro-Magnon in the piping community. There's an IM Corona lighter. I actually know how to use it. And I used it to light the pipe today. So there you go. Let me show you another pipe I actually have out. I don't smoke it much, but the Missouri Meerschaum corncob with a forever stem on it. I love it. Flat bottom, sits up. I haven't smoked this thing probably in 6 months, but only because I'm trying to get this to color. So I just wanted to see, I do have other pipes, and I do love how that looks. Pretty cool looking stem. Good pipe, just not on my list right now. So there's two things. So I show you this pipe in a Bic, but I do have others. So again, I just want to show you I'm not a complete Neanderthal. So in the pipe today is one of my favorites, Mississippi Mud. I love this stuff. Truly was number one for a long time this year. But like early morning pipe and burly morning pipe and Black Twist, some others have really kind of pushed up against it, but Mississippi Mud is still one of my absolute favorites. So one of the things I want to show you is what my desk is like here in Maryland and what my rotation looks like. My tobacco rotation. It's too large, too many choices, too many options, but I love it. And rather than making it smaller, I'm actually making it bigger. Every time one of you says, "Oh my God, you've got to try this," or "This is my number one." Well, my latest example of that is Piper Ken and his Caves Code at the Gatlin Burlier. So just today I went down there, created an account, and ordered a pound of Caves Code, Cades Cove. So that'll get into one of these little jars and then get jarred down in the cellar. So there's another addition. So every time one of you guys acts excited, I take it as a learning experience and add it to my stash. It's a great way to build a cellar.
So I thought I'd show you guys my rotation. So this is just my desk. It's just really two wooden tables that I put together. I like them because I can cut them. I can drill holes in them so like the lamp can go through it. And just a cheap way to get a nice workbench going. But I have several jarring projects I need to get done. But I just like to show you my actual rotation. So I kind of try to hide them. I keep it in smaller jars and I keep them behind here in the corner so everybody who walks into the house doesn't see it. My wife doesn't have to see it every time she walks by. So there's Echo under the bed. In her bed under the desk. And I'll show you there's Chance on his bed. And then normally Ranger's there, but he's there. So probably made you sick and dizzy, but Here we go. Here's what my actual rotation looks like. It's ridiculous, right? But you can kind of see them. So I choose from these pretty much every day. And I actually bought a bunch of pipes from CJ. Got them all cleaned up and they're sitting over here. But that's it. That's kind of how I do it. So it tries to look normal from here, but I've got a really nice selection from up there. That way everyone doesn't see it.
So this goes out to Mark, Welsh Piper. Look at this, an American with a big old mug of tea. It's my sloth mug. It's my favorite mug for tea. I just wanted to show Mark that an American, you know, big old uneducated dude like me can actually drink a mug of tea myself. It's pretty good. It goes better with the pipe than I expected. The other thing Dave over at Central Cal Piper said really stuck with me, and that's his smoking jacket, because that's what this is. This is a big old Carhartt oversized winter jacket that I wear out here, especially in Maryland, because I smoke outdoors every time, whether it be in the front lawn or you've seen the fire pit. I put this on. It's really helpful because if it's going to get a hole burned in it, it's this coat, and this is hard to burn. Protects all my other clothes. So, Dave, I just wanted to do a shout out to you and say, brother, here's my smoking jacket. Hey guys, I like how the book conversation landed yesterday and the responses that you guys are putting into it. So I wanted to do you the respect of actually bringing them out here and showing them to you so you know exactly what I'm talking about. I love some of the comments you made about you find reading itself boorish or laborious. Laborious. Obviously, I need to work on my vocabulary. But you find it laborious, tiring, hard to get to. And so some of you have gone to Audible or books on tape or whatever system you use. I think that's fabulous. In fact, the ones I talked about yesterday, are all available on Audible or at your library, however you get your books on tape. We shouldn't even call it that anymore, should we? For us older guys, I remember those plastic trays that you'd split them open, there'd be cassettes, like 4 rows of cassettes. That doesn't age me, does it? So the book I was talking about that changed my life the most is this one, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. This is the actual book, easily gotten on Audible. This is the derivative. This is the one I read every single day of my life, and I usually give them to my students or my mentees. Daily Reflections for Highly Effective People. This takes this book and distills it into little daily bites. I've probably been through this thing 6-7 years in a row. So I've torn the crap out of it. It's all beat up, highlighted. Each year, different things speak to me, different notes. Where was I when I was reading it? If you make one change in your life, if I can make one recommendation, change one thing in your life, is buy this little book. It's on Amazon. And take the 3 to 5 minutes a day it takes to read something that long or something that long. Start your day with it. Get your mind right. That's what I say. Every morning I try to get my mind right. All right, the second one. Enough about that. So here's the actual book. This is the classic Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This stupid thing was written like in 1932 in the depths of the Depression. It's hard to believe it's that old. It still reads to me that current. It's a lot more than just about getting rich. And then, so this is the one that sits on my desk and I read every day. Napoleon Hill's Positive Action Plan. Same thing. It's broken into one day reads. There's a day. There's a day. This is another one I read 5 or 6 years in a row. If you want a second recommendation, it would be to buy this book, put it next to this book, and read these two things every morning. I'm pretty sure it'll change your day. It'll change how you view your day. I think it'll change your life. So those are two of the books I talked about yesterday, and I actually wanted to show them to you, show you how easy it is to have them participate in your life should you choose to. Or yet another thing you could ignore and feel superior about and move on. No big deal. The last one is Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, written a long time ago. It's pretty damn good. And it's a little shocking how relevant something written so long ago reads in today's modern life. Dropping stuff over here. No pictures, small print, divided up into sort of small chapters. Pretty consumable. Anyway, that's really all I have for books today. I just wanted to take down that path a little bit further, a little deeper than we did yesterday. So I told you guys one of the most influential people back in my beginning my pipe journey was Dwayne over at Dry Creek Wrangler School. His video about why I smoke cigars actually is what got me started way back at the New Year, almost 1 year ago now. Anyway, I watch every one of his videos, and he put one out called or entitled something like "What Does It Mean to Be a Man?" I don't want to go over them all. There's like 5 or 6, but the 3 that I thought were good was to be a man, a real man. The first thing you have to do is be dangerous, and the second thing is you have to be educated, and the third is you have to be calm. I thought those were good. I think some of what we do on Freedom Friday and Weeping Wednesday is part of being dangerous, and I'm glad to see a big part of our community accepts that responsibility. You don't always have to be dangerous or demonstrate that you're dangerous, but I think having the capability, the desire, the ability to be dangerous if needed, I think is incredibly important. At least that's one of the beliefs I hold in my core. I don't want to be dangerous. I don't want to demonstrate my ability. But I am able, and I am certainly willing in the right circumstance. The one I wanted to talk about, though, is the be educated. Let me skip over that for a minute and talk about be calm. I think, one thing Dwayne talks about is be the quietest man in the room. Because the quietest man in the room is probably the most dangerous man in the room. I thought that was good. So I think that's why I wanted to mention it, because be calm actually is the damper that we put on ourselves about being dangerous and when we would execute that. The be educated is kind of where I was coming with the books. Whether you read books, listen to books, whether you're voracious or barely touch them, I think those of us in the pipe community are, in fact, more educated, have a higher emotional intelligence, have a higher intellectual curiosity about what is as varied as this group is. And how we go about slaking that intellectual curiosity is probably as varied as us here in the pipe community as well. I think it's okay to admit that we like being smarter, being inquisitive, being intelligent. I think that's part of what this community is about. Yeah, this Mississippi mud gets better as the bowl goes down. I'm a little over half into it. It really smooths out. I haven't had it in a while. I forgot how good it really is. My mouth loves Mississippi mud. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye. Keep it a little shorter today, I hope. Have a great Sunday. Our son begins his journey back to Denver this afternoon. It's back to my wife and I tomorrow. 2 weeks from today, my daughter flies in. So my wife finally has to put up with me as her only child for 14 days. I know many of you are headed back into the rat race, as you're calling it, tomorrow. So good luck with that. And hopefully we'll talk again tomorrow.